Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about butterflies, and we're going to make a beautiful little coffee filter butterfly. And then later we're going to read a wonderful, beautiful story about monarch butterflies and their food source, and also where they lay their eggs for their baby caterpillars to be grown, for them to grow into be beautiful butterflies. And that story will be called, that is called Monarch and Milkweed by Helen Frost. So that's our story that we'll be reading later. And right now we're going to make a beautiful butterfly using 2 coffee filters, 1 pipe cleaner, some magic, yes, they're magic in the sense that they're washable markers, and a water source, whether you use a spray bottle or you use a wet paper towel. So, in your bag, the very last thing you have in your bag is 2 coffee filters and a pipe cleaner. And so you go, well, how does this turn into something as beautiful and cute as this? So this is entirely up to you. It's very hard to make a monarch because it's just basically orange, white, and black, mainly orange and black. And because their design is so intricate, it's very hard to do that. So we're just going to make one of the thousands of other kinds of butterflies. It's very colorful and very beautiful. So you pick out the colors that you like, and as you see, I made mine using yellow and green and a turquoise. And I found that it's a little easier when you're blending the colors together if you mainly use, like the big part of yours is like a light color, and then you use like designs in it of a darker color, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take my coffee filter and I flattened it out just a little bit so it's easier to color on. And today I'm going to use green and red and orange. These aren't your normal blending colors, but I think it'll still be very pretty. Your blending colors would be like, if you used yellow and red, it would blend to be an orange. If you used yellow and blue, it would blend to be a green. If you used red and blue, it would blend to be a purple. But those would be very dark colors, and the dark color kind of takes over this. So we're going to use the lighter colors instead. So my lightest color is my orange. And so I'm going to color, and as you see, I am not being, very specific and making sure it's all colored. I just want the colors. I'm leaving some white space because when I add the water, it will blend my colors over into the white part. And so I'm not leaving a lot of white, but I'm not coloring the whole thing and covering it totally. You don't need to do that. So we don't need perfect coloring here, which is great if you're 2 and just learning how to color. And so I have a lot of orange on here right now. So now I'm going to add some accents. So I'm going to put like almost kind of scribbling what some people call scribbling. It's coloring all the same. Some red down. And then I'm going to put just a little green. Here. So this is what you want to have coverage-wise on your coffee filter. I'm not going to do the other one right now because I just want to show you this because I won't be able to finish with this one because it'll still be wet. And for this project, grown-ups, big buddies, you want to have like a paper towel or like a cookie sheet or some old newspaper that you can then lay this on for it to dry onto later. And right now I'm going to use, because I forgot to bring a dry one, I'm going to use my brown paper bag that my kit was in, just to show you today. And so there's two ways that you could really do this. You could use a spray bottle, or you could use a wet paper towel. And so I'm going to do half and half just to show you. If you're using the spray bottle, you don't want to spray a lot of water on it. You just want to spray like maybe 3, just so it kind of gets wet and a little limp. And now I'm going to take the other half. I'm going to put this down for a second. I'm going to take the other half. I'm going to use a wet paper towel in case you don't have a spray bottle at home. And I'm just going to lay this down on the dry part. I'm going to press it down so that the coffee filter gets wet. Not really wet, just wet enough that it's going to make the colors run a little bit. And if you look at this, you can see that they're already starting to run a little bit. So now you have this wet, but not soaking coffee filter. You want to take it and you just want to bundle it up, squeeze it and squish it and mush it. And what's happening right now is the color is blending into the rest of the paper. And as you see, it's not wet enough that you did not see any water dripping off of this. If you get it too wet, it's going to break. So you don't want it really, really wet. And when I open this up, you'll see that I didn't need it really, really wet. I just needed it wet enough. And as you see, the colors went over all that part that was white and blended together to make this beautiful design. And so this has to dry completely before you do the rest of the art project. And it probably takes about an hour for it to totally dry. So you just want to put it somewhere like this, put it aside, and then once both, and you're going to do it for both of the filters. I'm not going to do this for this one today, but then you're going to do it for both filters. And then once they're dry, and I'll show you, because I've done these ahead of time, I have 2 that I made at home that are now dry. And what you want to do is what I had done with this one first. And this is a good practice for fine motor skills. You're going to be folding it, but it's called an accordion fold. And by that, I mean what you're doing is you're taking the very beginning and you're folding it just a little bit. I'm going to fold this one really quickly and then go a little slower with the next one. You're going to be getting something that looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to start and you're going to fold maybe about a ½ inch over. Can you see this? And then you're going to fold it the other way and just run it along. So now you've got something that looks like this. So then you're going to flip it again, and what you're going to do is you're just going to keep folding it right along. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just flip it over and run your fingers along like this. Flip it over again, and this is kind of like a fan or an accordion. And as you see, I'm not making this perfect. They're not exactly the same. I'm not measuring everything. That's okay. It's not like that in nature. So you just like fold it along, and this is really, really good eye-hand coordination and fine motor skills work that you're working on. And you just fold it over it, flipping it, folding it, flipping it, folding it, flipping it, folding it till you come to the end. So then you have 2 coffee filters that are accordioned or fanned like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to be putting them together like this. You're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to kind of find where the middle is by bending it. And so then you're going to take your coffee filter, and what you want to do is make sure that when you put this on here, that the folded side is up. So you put this right in the middle. You take your pipe cleaner and you want to twist it. Once is okay, but 2 or 3 times is better. So then you have something that looks like this, and you go, well, that is not a butterfly. Let's turn it into a butterfly. Let's take our pipe cleaner, and you're just going to take your finger and you're going to roll the pipe cleaner around your finger to help make the antenna. And you're just going to do that same thing on the other side. So then you have the antennas, and you can bend them any way you want. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open up, just open up the wings where you have folded the accordion, where you have done the folding. And then you've got half of the butterfly. It's almost done. Let's open up the other side, and it'll show you the beautiful design that you made when you colored with your markers. And you want to make sure that the antennas are on the outside. And so then you have your beautiful butterfly. So think about the colors that you want to use and what kind of butterfly you want at the end. And have fun coloring and folding and twisting. Welcome back, everyone. We just finished making a beautiful butterfly of our own, and so now I'm going to read a story about monarch butterflies. And these beautiful creatures are now losing their land, their habitat, because what they eat and grow on and whatever is milkweed. And a lot of the places that used to have milkweed plants are now plowed under. And so the poor monarch butterfly is having a hard time finding places to live and to grow and have their little family. So I will give you a website later that you can look up on your computer and learn more about the monarch butterfly after we read this beautiful story called Monarch and Milkweed by Helen Frost. In a patch of dirt behind an old red barn, milkweed stretches into the warm spring air. Its roots reach deep and wide. Its stems point up to the sky. Monarch spreads her wings and rides the wind past white and yellow daisies, across a creek, heading north. Milkweed's new leaves push out, and then the purple flowers, soft and round and fragrant. The monarch finds the dandelion, and it drinks its nectar and flies on. She stops again, rests and drinks and flies again. Milkweed stretches taller. 2 by 2, its leaves spread wide, sheltering long-legged spiders and black and orange beetles. Monarch lights on a milkweed and drums her feet on the milkweed's flower and tastes home. Milkweed's flowers fall away and green pods push out. Inside these bumpy fists, new seeds are forming. Monarch finds a mate and stays with him all afternoon, all night, and into the morning. Eggs in her body grow heavy, and she searches for the milkweed. A breeze bends the milkweed side to side, and Monarch chooses its best leaf. Swaying in the breeze with the milkweed, she curls her body underneath the leaf and glues one pale yellow egg to its soft underside. She flies from milkweed plant to milkweed plant, stopping on each to lay one shiny egg. Inside Monarch's egg, a caterpillar forms. And 4 days later, it pushes out, shorter than an eyelash, almost invisible against the pale green leaf. It eats the shell that hit it, and then it moves across the leaf. It eats leaf, and it grows. And when it grows too big to fit inside its skin, it crawls right out. New skin has already formed underneath the old. Yellow, black, and white, the monarch caterpillar feeds on the milkweed's bitter leaves and grows. 4 times the caterpillar sheds its skin, and then one evening in the late summer, it weaves a sturdy pad underneath a milkweed leaf, hangs upside down in the shape of a J. Its feeders droop, and one last time it sheds its skin. It twists and turns and pulls its body up, transforming into a chrysalis. It hangs beneath the leaf, a shining jewel, pale green, speckled with gold. 12 days, the monarch chrysalis shines in the noontime shadows. 12 nights, it waits under the moon and the stars. It grows darker, gray, then black and orange as a new monarch wings shine through. Early one morning, the chrysalis splits open and a new monarch steps out. She clings to the clear case of the chrysalis as the warm air dries her wings, and she opens her wings and closes them and opens them wide, and a light breeze lifts her up and she flies. Isn't that beautiful? Milkweed's leaves, now full of holes, turn yellow, then brown, and their edges curl, and they begin to fall. And monarchs fly from the purple zinnias to the black-eyed Susans, drinking nectar and getting ready. And as the days turn cool, she turns south towards the warmer air to begin her longest journey. Milkweed's pods are full. Its seeds are almost ready. And in September's sun, the pod's strong walls turn dry and brown. And the monarchs flies and rides the wind, stopping only long enough to drink sweet nectar from a field of purple asters. She follows the last flowers of summer as she flies on and on, almost 2,000 miles, all the way to Mexico. Milkweed's pods split open, and brown seeds lie close together on a soft white bed, and the October wind catches the silky tendron, opens it, and lifts the seed into the air, carrying it out and away, across a river to an old white house. The kitten reaches up and bats at the white fluff until it disappears. Rain comes, snow comes, rain comes again, and sun warms the earth, and the earth warms the seed, and under the dirt it opens. Its roots reach down, and the tip of the green presses out and up toward the warmth and the light, and the milkweed's first spring leaves unfurl. Far to the south, in Mexico, Monarch rides the wind towards it. And that's the life cycle of the monarch butterfly.